Hi everyone, good evening. I am Lilian Tessera. So I will be discussing about educational system of selected country. So I choose the country of the Japanese educational system. So the question here, does Japan have a good education system? So due to the fact that their educational system is so good, Japan has one of the world's best educated populations with 100% enrollment in compulsory grades and zero illiteracy. So what makes Japanese school system so unique is because Japanese state education system is a national pride in this country. So with a traditional approach that has helped Japanese pupils so easily outperform their counterparts all around the world. So even though high school is not compulsory, high school is still pretty high, over 96%, I think, in a nationwide, and nearly 100% in the cities. So the curriculum outline here, Japan. In Japan, school exchanges during Japan educational travel, these are mainly implemented in junior high and high school. So for physically or mentally challenged students, there is a system called special needs education to support special students to develop their self-reliance and that enhance their social participation. So the Japanese education system primarily consists of 6 years elementary school, 3 years junior high school, and 3-year high school, so followed by a 4-year colleges. So compulsory education lasts for 9 years through elementary and junior high school. So education system in Japan is in a primary education here. So the education through the middle school is compulsory in Japan, where schools remain structured after the American model. So following elementary education at kindergartens and daycare centers, our children move on to primary schools where they complete 6 grades and preparation in junior high. So in the middle education here, at junior high school, the focus for the next 3 years and increasingly academic. So I think 95% of middle schools are state funded and the 96% of their pupils option to study further. So teachers have a typically completed major courses in subjects that they teach, and over 80% of these have a completed for a 4-year college degree too. So in the secondary education here, although high school is neither compulsory nor free, so 94% of junior high school graduates choose to enter institutions, of which half are privately funded and half are owned by the state. So they enter a general stream that after grade 9 divides into vocational and university entrance categories. So there are vocational educations also a students who choose and not to enter university or college almost invariably undergo some form of vocational training. So their standards are high too, and success comes by internationally recognized certification. So tertiary education here, almost 3 million Japanese students are enrolled at the nation's colleges and universities at any one time. So most study full-time, where popular undergraduate courses are social science like business, law, and accounting, and also engineering and humanities and education. So as I know that there are 96 national universities and 39 public universities which is established through local government, and almost 400 private colleges. So the top ranking tertiary education institution in Japan is generally held in University of Tokyo. So next, how the K-12 education system in Japan works. So the K-12 education system in Japan is fairly famous around the world and is often held up as the standard of East Asian education. The question is, how does it work and what kind of classes are taught? So the structure, like in America, the Japanese school system is based on age. So children usually go to some sort of preparatory daycare until they are 6. So in which they enroll in kindergarten. These kindergartens are not offered through elementary schools like they are in America. Instead, they are their own schools, usually with large playgrounds and colorful murals on the side. So children in the kindergarten learn much of what American kindergartens learn. So except or instead of English, they can learn basic Japanese symbols to give them a jump start in elementary school. So next is elementary school. Lasts from 1st to 6th grade or 7 to 12 years old. Elementary schools may or may not require a uniform, but all children usually wear a yellow hat and a red backpack for girls or a black backpack for boys. So children here learn the basics of reading and writing. So in Japanese, usually English, math, science, music, calligraphy, and history, and also geography. We also have a regular PE classes. So next, the middle school is from 7th to 9th grade or 13 to 15 years old. This is when uniforms become mandatory. So students begin joining clubs and sports, arts, and sciences, and take many of the same courses that they did before. Only now, it's a much harder level, and classes are usually split by perceived intelligence. So let's proceed to high school. So in high school, it's from 10th to 12th grade or 16 to 18 years old is not mandatory, although a vast majority of Japanese people attend to high school. Considered the most difficult part of Japanese schooling. So including college, students sometimes only get 4 hours of sleep as they take advanced classes and attend up to 3 hours of lecturing every day after school. So when a student graduates high school, he or she is expected to know over 2,000 Japanese characters. And that's all about my topic. I hope you gain more knowledge. So thank you for listening. Once again, I am Rudian Caceres. Bye.